Hi, this is Jody from mcpactions.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Quick Clicks collection. You are welcome to preview how to install Lightroom presets on our Installing Lightroom Presets video. I'm going to explain very briefly here. What you're going to do is on a Mac, go under Lightroom, Preferences, and on a PC you're going to go under Edit and Preferences. I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to go Lightroom Preferences. Then you're going to choose Show Lightroom Presets folder. And you're going to go to where it says Develop Presets. From here, you're going to navigate your way through a different folder structure, and you're going to find where you downloaded your presets, and then you're going to move them in. To move them in, typically I Alt or Option and then drag them in so that way you don't lose your original copy. Then from there, once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and restart Lightroom. It is very important you restart Lightroom. That way your presets will show up in this left panel over here. Once you've restarted Lightroom, you're going to go ahead and you're going to see the presets that you've installed. So you're going to see the section folders. 001 through 005 are the MCP Quick Clicks for RAW, and 01 through 05 are the Quick Clicks for JPEG. Depending which one you purchase will be what you see in your folders here in your presets. We're going to go ahead, I'm going to take a look now and show you how this is set up. To start with, you'll see we have this organized in a folder structure. You're going to start with section 1. Section 1, we're going to open up here, is what does all your white balance, so color correction, and your exposure. You will notice that there is a reset for each of these. So you'll see reset to camera default. So if you don't like the white balance you picked, you can just reset it. Again, with exposure, you'll see the same thing. You can go ahead and reset your exposure if you're not happy with the look. You'll see we've done our exposure in 1/3 increments all the way to 2 stops positive, or to decrease your exposure by up to 2 stops. All you do to use a preset is click on it. Section 2 are our color presets, and you'll see these are organized by category, though looks will vary based on the picture, so they may not always appear to work in the same category as you're looking at them, based on the fact that the colors and tones in your photo will change how each preset looks on a picture. You'll see the first section in 002 for RAW or 02 for JPEG is the Clean Edit section. These are going to typically be light to medium color pops and add some contrast and just an overall boost to your photo. And you can see these are just named with nice fun names. Our soft and dreamy section, which is section 2, have a nice soft look to them. So if you're into a softer look to your photos, these are the ones you're going to want to check out. Then we have our section 3, which you'll see are all named after islands. These are our warm and sunny presets. For the most part, these should give your photo a nice warm tone. So if your photo's a little cool to begin with, but not overly cool, you may want to even wait on white balance and check that out later. You can always start here and go back to white balance if needed too. So you'll click on one of these if you want a warmer look, and you'll just click through them until you find the look that you're looking for. Cool Twist Urban are cross-processing and urban type looks. They'll work a lot with the blue tones in your photo, although you may notice a photo getting warmer as well or cooler. And so you'll notice these are all named after childhood games. Then we have our vintage section. And our vintage section in Haze, there will be some crossover depending on your picture. You can see we've got vintage presets here, and then we have Haze presets next. You'll see the next section are our old camera presets. And then we have some faux HDR presets. And lastly, our silhouette enhancers. The silhouette enhancers are used when you do a sunset silhouette and you want to get your blacks, the dark areas darker, and the rest of the colors more vibrant. And then the roulette wheels will actually change the tones in your picture. Next section, 003 for RAW or 03 for JPEG are the black and white actions. Again, you will see different resets here, and you'll notice it says you can reset just the tint, you can reset the black and white to a color image, or you can reset the black and white. This right here, if you've come in using color presets and then you want to go, I want a black and white, you'll want to go ahead and click this that's in all capital right here. Reset to use black and white presets. Otherwise, any toning from your colors may automatically apply to these black and whites. You most likely won't want that. So that's what you'll want to reset. And then you'll come in here and check with these different black and white presets. You'll see these are all named after things that hold ice cream. So we've got everything from a waffle bowl to a sundae dish and so much more. Then you'll choose your ice cream scoop. If you want a tint, these are optional. If you want a tint, you'll choose your ice cream scoop. These range from everything from cookies and cream to cookie dough, banana split to lemon gelato. Just click and play until you find the tint that's right for you. If you are looking for a vintage, another way to achieve that is to use our bring back colors. And we have bring back color extra light, light, medium, and strong. Or you can just reset it to black and white. You can use these at the end to add back a light bit of color to your black and white image overall. Our next section is 004. This section is to be used after you use either a color or black and white conversion, or alternatively, if you just want a nice clean edit, you can just use this section alongside the white balance and exposure to get a look that you want. In this section, you'll see we have blowout busters, which fixes highlights. We have a fill flash, which is fill light. We have booster shots, which adds contrast. We have crisp, which will increase the detail in your picture. We have soften, which will actually smooth out your picture. It's kind of the opposite of crisp. We have a color dimmer. On your color images, if the tones are too bright, you can actually dim the color quite a bit using the color dimmers. If your photo has a lot of natural haze, you can use the haze lifter to reduce that. The film grain option will work in Lightroom 3 and above. Our sharp attack presets are very strong and powerful, and they will work slightly better on Lightroom 3 and up. Our burnt edges, if you like a nice deep vignette, you can go from a very light vignette to a very heavy vignette using our burnt edges presets. Our white vignettes are our frosted edges here, and that will give you a light edge to the photo. We also have hard round frames. You can actually see in the preview window up here as I'm hovering over them. And we have white frames. And lastly, we have soft frames if you want like a blurred frame. Then the last section here is 005 for RAW and 05 for JPEG, and that is the quick click customizers. These are where you're going to add your own custom presets based off of other MCP presets. I will have a video tutorial teaching you how to do just this, so look for that one very soon. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use this set on a photo. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a photo here. This photo right here is from Kelly Roper Photography, and it is a JPEG. So we're going to actually come down here to the JPEG presets, and we're going to work through this photo and one other. For this particular photo, I notice it's slightly underexposed. So I'm going to go ahead and opening the building block section, and I'm going to work with the exposure. If you're not sure how much, just click. So here's 1/3 of a stop, 2/3 of a stop, and a full stop. And I could keep going, but I think a full stop is right about where I want it. The next thing I would do is pick a color or black and white preset. So I'm going to go to the color section, and all you do is literally click. So you can either click to see what it's going to look like, or you can look in this navigator window up here, and you can, as you hover, you'll see the changes. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to run some different ones to see. I'm just going to click on a few of my favorites. There's Fortunate, and you can again see it looks significantly better. And if you want to make a snapshot, what a snapshot does is it'll allow you to compare later. So I can actually come in here and hit Control or Command and the letter N and make a snapshot. So I'm going to call it V for video because I already have some snapshots made, and Fortunate, okay? And then I'll go ahead and let's come down here maybe to a warm and sunny preset. How about we'll try Bahamas. And again, if I want to make one here, I could do V, Bahamas, and save that. And I'll show you where these go in a minute, the snapshots. Let's go ahead and let's try some from the cooler section now. Let's go ahead and do Hi Ho Cheerio. You can see that's quite an interesting look. So I'll just call it V Hi-Ho for Hi-Ho Cheerio. Let's try Carnival for a little bit more vivid of a look. Okay, so I'll save a snapshot of that as well. And then let's go ahead and try a few in the vintage section. Let's go ahead, one of my favorites is Artsy Ellie, named after one of my twins. So I'll come in here and just call it V Artsy Ellie. Then let's try maybe Catching Fireflies. Oh, look what that did to her eyes, very cool. So we'll call this V Catching Fireflies. Again, just to get the snapshot box, I'm hitting Control or Command and the letter N. And one of my other favorites I really like is Marco Polo. That one's actually back up here in this section. Marco Polo. I like that one quite a bit. And we'll try maybe one more. Let's do a vintage. Let's do Lake House. So let's go ahead and take a look real quick at the snapshots. You'll see they're down here, and you'll see I have quite a few saved from when I was making examples, but I saved all these right under the letter V. So here's our straight out of camera, and you can see there's Artsy Ellie, Bahamas, Catching Fireflies, Fortunate, Hi-Ho Cheerio, Lake House, Marco Polo, and Carnival. I think my favorite one from this probably was Marco Polo. So let's go ahead with that. Once you've done your look, you can then use the finishing enhancers. So I'm going to open section 4 and we can decide what it needs. I don't see any blowouts, so I'm not going to click on any of those. I don't feel it needs fill flash. Booster shot gives some contrast. Again, we can see this in the preview as I hover. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you'll see there's booster shot medium. Crisp makes things a little bit more detailed. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I don't want to soften it because I know that's the opposite of crisp, if you remember. I don't want to reduce haze. I don't want to add film grain. Maybe very light noise reduction. So I would click silence the noise. And really, unless you zoom in, you're not going to probably notice what that did. But if we zoom in here, I'll show you medium. And I'll show you strong. Then I'm going to zoom back out. And I'm going to apply a light vignette. My favorite is probably Burnt Edges V2. And you'll see that just darken the edges. It blurs out to the edges, so you shouldn't see a real heavy line where we did that. And you can only use either vignette or the frames. You cannot use both. Okay, so here's our completed picture then. And that's how you work each picture. It's very quick because you're not going to use everything every time. And if you have a bunch of photos, in a later video, I will show you how to sync those as well. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a black and white conversion for this. So let's go ahead into the black and white section. That's 003 or 03 for JPEG. You'll notice that if I start hovering on these black and whites, that there's a tone if you look in the navigator. So the first thing you want to do when you have a black and white, want to convert to black and white, is you're going to click the reset to use black and white preset, which is right here. That will reset everything about your image except the white balance and the exposure. Those will remain the same. Now we're going to go ahead and just hover on these different black and white options till we find the one that we like. So, or you can click, either way. So I'm going to click so you can see it big. There's Waffle Bowl. There's Sugar Cone. There's Parfait Glass, which I really like. There's Belgian Waffle Cone. And you can see how it's very easy just to click and see what the look is. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to use Parfait Glass for this. I really like that look. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some toning. Let's check it out and pick our favorite tone. So there are 26 tones, so I won't take the whole video up showing you them. But there's Fudge Ripple, and you can see the top ones are kind of warmer tones, brown tones. There's Chocolate Chip, Peanut Butter Cup. I'm going to skip around a little bit. Basically, the black and white conversions are ice cream names, and the tones are scoops of ice cream. There's Peaches and Cream. There's Cherry Jubilee. One of my favorites is down here, French vanilla. I also really like blueberry cheesecake's really nice if you want a blue tone. Blueberry banana twist has some blue and kind of warm yellows. So you'll pick the tone you like and then you'll go with it. If you want, after you do your black and white conversion, you can actually go into the finishing enhancers and then add a vignette, sharpening, or anything else you like. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of a vignette here. And maybe we'll do a medium sharpening. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to show you one more photo today. And this one's from Haley Rotner. And her photo is a gorgeous little girl here. Her photo is a raw photo. You'll see it's a .cr2, which is a Canon RAW file. So I want to go ahead and scroll real quick all the way up to the top. And we're going to work with the RAW presets now instead of the JPEG presets. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and actually start in section 1. The exposure looks good to me, but the white balance, not so much. So I'm going to play with a couple of these. Let's start with In the Shade, which is nice, maybe a tad too warm. Cloudy Day, a little bit less warm. Daylight and Sunshine, starting to get too cool. You'll see these kind of go in a progressive order. So I'm going to go ahead and use Cloudy Day. Then I said the exposure was fine, so we're going to leave that. And the next thing I'm going to do is come in here with the Quick Click Color section. And we're going to go ahead and play with a few of these and see what we like. So let's go ahead and let's try something like Best Friends. And if you notice the photo kind of jumped, here I'll show you on a different one. If I reset the look, you'll see it jumps back. It kind of jumps out to the edges. Your photo will do that as long as you're in Lightroom 3 and up. If you're in Lightroom 2, you won't notice that though. The reason is it's called lens calibration, and it calibrates to the lens that you used on your camera. And what that does is it actually takes away any extra vignetting or distortion from your lens. So it's kind of a cool feature, but that's why it does that, in case you're wondering. And let's go ahead and we'll try a few more here. Let's go ahead and try Sugar and Spice. Oh, I like that one a lot. Nice and warm. So again, if you wanted to do a comparison, you could then just do a Controller Command N, and we could call it, let's call it V Sugar, so we remember. And you'll see also that has the white balance preset stuck to it. And let's go ahead and try a few of the little bit cooler ones. Let's try, actually, it's more of a red one, the Hi-Ho Cheerio, because I really like that one quite a bit. Makes it look like fall instead of summer. Look at that, very neat, one click. Okay, also let's try Candyland. A little bit more vibrant. And maybe let's try a hazy, let's try a hazy one. Little Miss Sunshine. Now, when I ran Little Miss Sunshine, you'll see it's way too bright. So what would I do here? Well, I could either do it with the finishing enhancers, or I can even scroll back up to the building blocks now with the stops, and I could decrease a little bit. So I could remove a third stop of light, or maybe even 2/3 stops of light. And you can see that that looks really good now. So that's all there is to using this set. I hope that helped you understand how it works and how you can stack presets and how you can work with everything. If you have any questions, stay tuned for more videos from MCP Actions.